Loaded bases. You ready?
Great, man.
How's it going?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, man. Living. How's everything going, man?
Just trying to survive during this time.
Yeah, I know, man. It's boring. Like, I hate it. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like, it's a blessing in disguise for sure. It makes you sit still.
Yeah, it's. I mean, if there wasn't this coronavirus time, I wouldn't do what I'm doing. I mean, I wouldn't be going back to school. I wouldn't be doing this podcast. I wouldn't be doing any of this.
For sure. I mean, you got to think about how much you actually move and migrate when, like, there was no coronavirus. Like, you're up and running. You hang out with your friends. Like, I feel like this has been if you used it right,
Yeah.
because people going to the clubs and stuff like that, which is kind of dumb. But still, like, if you use it right, like, this is an opportunity to, like, learn more about yourself. Like,
Yeah.
Like, learn kind of, like, where you are mentally, especially as an athlete. Because, like, for me, I kind of enjoyed it because, like, you don't really get time to really sit down and maybe play a little Warzone or
You're just going.
going. You don't really get time to do that type of stuff. You still work hard, but you also get time to really just relax and find out what you do. Because you're an athlete and you're trying to do this for a living. Like, that's basically where your life is kind of surrounded upon. Like, versus, like, I don't really know. Like, before this, I didn't really know what I really enjoyed doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't necessarily have a hobby that I really like to do. I just didn't, like, because my hobby, my goal, my career, everything was baseball. So, like, I didn't know anything until coronavirus hit and I had time to be still and be bored to figure out, hey, like, I actually enjoy doing this to mark out my time. So now when baseball comes back, whenever you get a little stressed out or, like, whenever in between your time to keep you balanced mentally, you do the stuff that you did when you had to sit still.
Yeah. See, it's coronavirus is actually it's a blessing in disguise
Yeah,
for a
for
lot of
sure.
us.
Yeah.
Say so what are you doing right now? Like to get ready for baseball?
Okay, so I train this place called Fuel Factory, and it's a great spot. Like, I love it, and it's honestly it's one of the better facilities I've ever been to.
Mm-hmm.
Great staff, great players in there that ready to come in and compete with you. Great catchers, everything, equipment, everything. I've tried to have a healthy balance in this time period because for me, like I said, like, we come from a state where we're like, okay, we're baseball 24/7.
Yeah.
Wake up, baseball. Like, I want to work hard because at the end of the day, when I get back, I want to be right. I want to be where I need to be. But on the flip side, this is a time period where you may not ever really get back. I hope we don't get this time period back, honestly. But still, like, I try to have a healthy balance. So, like, for me, like, my day schedule is normally there's no really set schedule for, like, my training. I can just text them and let them know when I'm going to come in. So I normally come in around, like, anywhere from 11 o'clock, 11:30. I normally go and play catch. If I have a bullpen, I'll do so. If I have to lift, I'll do so. Come back. I mean, honestly, I was the worst cook ever. Like, I hated cooking.
That's why I have my wife. She does all my cooking, man. She's
my
amazing.
My girlfriend does like cooking, but I will say my girlfriend's also, like, in med school. So, like, when the coronavirus first hit, she was like, "Oh my God, I don't want to, like, we should just take some time to, like, just kind of stay apart because we don't want to catch anything." And I was like, I hated it, but I was like, okay, fine. So, like, I was the worst cook ever. But I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I've enjoyed cooking. So, like, a lot of times I come home and I would just, like, look at recipes or go to YouTube and look at recipes, and, like, I would go and, like, cook a recipe, like, make it. I go play Warzone. I watch Netflix movies. I hated watching movies too, but I go watch Netflix movies. Like, I have a healthy balance now.
What are you watching on Netflix right now?
Ozark.
Ooh, see, I've gotten a few episodes in for season 1, but then I haven't went past that.
Okay, so my thing with Netflix is I really need them to put on some better movies because I like that Netflix is trying to push and promote, like, newer actors like that.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the acting skills are not always the best, or, like, you can just a lower budget movie, which is not bad because I've also seen some Netflix series movies like, oh my God, that's really good. But, like, right now, shows wise, I was Ozark. And then it was like All American, which is pretty standard show.
Yep. I watched that.
But I just get sad when I watch shows because I know it's gonna come to an end. Like I know at some point I'm gonna have to watch a whole other show. So I try to stick to a lot of movies. Or like I go to the YouTube account. I have like a YouTube account and it's pretty dope. YouTube has all the movies now for some reason. And I go watch a movie that I just want to see on YouTube. But other than that, I've been training, cooking. I mean, which I hate to do, like I said, but I love it. Like I honestly, I feel bad for my girlfriend because like as guys we eat so much, but like I feel so bad because sometimes like I'll be legit like watch her cook and be sitting there like, dang, like he really out here like cooking a lot of stuff. But okay, oh well, you know. How long you been married?
We got married in July last year, so almost a year. Almost a year.
All right, how is it?
It's well, since we're on air, it's good. No, it's different. I mean, it was virtually, I guess, the same as us dating, but so like the backstory, like on us, like so when I lived in Florida, she was from where I'm from, so I slid into her DMs, and then a few weeks later, she actually flew down there, and it was just, I don't know, we just kicked it off good, and then I moved back here a few months after that. And then I proposed, and we've been almost married for a year.
Man, that's dope, man.
Yeah, she works in the medical field too. So yeah, so she's been stressed out and all that with the COVID.
Yeah, I bet she's trooper for that because I would not be going to work. Not me. Like, there's no way shot. There's no shot I can go to work right now. You couldn't go to work right now.
I am glad that I have the opportunity like to work at home.
Yeah, because you can say out of the whole stuff like that. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's what I've been doing, man. I'm just I've learned to cook more, and I've learned a little bit more on myself. Watching movies. Had a lot of downtime, but I still get on my work in. I still work hard. Yeah, I still work very hard, but I have that time to have balance. Versus in the season, practice, get on a bus, go play someone, get back on a bus, come back, get a crappy night's rest because you've been on a bus all day. And then you start all over.
So yeah, that's the grind of the baseball life. It's fun to a certain extent, but you gotta love it.
All right, there you go. That's better.
We're good.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, but during the season, you're just moving so much. It's always baseball. You don't have the downtime to really enjoy it. A little small hobby. So, I mean, that's what I've been doing so far, man. Sure.
Oh yeah. So, when did you find out at spring training that it was gonna end?
I found out later. For me, like, so we're the spring training, and we heard about it, but it was just up in the air. It was just something you heard people on cruise ships catch. Like, okay, it came from a different country. Okay, whatever. We everyone has their speculation. You got those people that get really, really scared, and you got the people that be like, oh, that's the government. Yeah, that's full of it. Yeah. So we're like, okay, all right, well, nothing wrong. And then people actually start getting sick. We're like, hold on now. Like, yeah, this may be for real. So we tried to go practice. So it went from, all right, we were practicing, everything was good. We had maybe a few spring training games. Major League Club did. And then it went from that to no fans. Our game get canceled because of it. And it was like, okay, they pulled us to a meeting, and they told us we could go home. We were like, we can go home. Like, we got to close the facility down. So then immediately, like, they start handing out meal money or handing out, like, travel money. And guys, like, start taking flights that same day, or guys drove home that same day. Like, they packed their stuff.
They're gone.
Like, it was legit, like, meeting, everyone gone. And I stayed here because I was just like, nah, not me. But still, like, everybody was just like that same day, it was like meeting, like, around like 12 o'clock noon. Everyone was gone by like 3. Like, we stayed in a team hotel. Every hotel was like empty at about like 3. Yeah.
So if spring training didn't end and the season started, where would you be right now?
I don't know. That's the scary thing about spring training, because you don't know. Like, you don't really know. Like, no one sits here and tell you, okay, you're going here this year. Like, you don't know. Like, that's the point of you trying to go in there and work hard for your sport spot. Like, you don't know. Like, it's always a toss in the air. Like, that's one of the things, you just trust your off-season training. And sometimes you'd be surprised about like how, like where you go. And there'd be other times where you're like, dang, like, I was kind of bummed. I kind of wanted to go here. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay.
You're playing. That's
Yeah.
the
I
I mean
got
that
a jersey. I got an opportunity. I'm ready to roll.
you're gonna paycheck the pitch.
Correct.
That is
Yeah, it may
awesome.
not be a paycheck, but it's a paycheck. Not wrong. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, I didn't know, but I was working hard to just try to get another opportunity to prove my worth as,
Mhm.
in an organization. If there's not also proven. And that's the thing I think people don't understand. Like, when you're pitching or when you're playing out there, you're not just playing for your organization. You're playing for everyone,
Yep.
because there's all organizations looking at you. You can be traded like this,
Yep.
really quick. Organization can see fit, like, okay, I really like this guy, and you're gone like that. So, like, I try to have that mentality. Like, I'm trying to put on a show for all 30 teams, not just my organization. Although I love my organization, I'm blessed for the opportunity they've given me. But still, let alone like you're playing for every organization. You're trying to, whatever you gotta do to get to the big leagues, you gotta do it.
So yeah, baseball is a team game, but at the end of the day, you got to perform for yourself.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, I mean, at the end of the day, you gotta be able to take care of your family. You gotta be able to provide for your
Mhm.
loved ones. You gotta be able to, like, you're the one that want that certain lifestyle for yourself. You know what you want your life to be like.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's like, it's your choice to go and get it. And honestly, I wouldn't let anybody stop me from getting it. So, it's a team game. I love my teammates. I appreciate them. I have a whole bunch of fun when I'm out there playing with them. But when I'm working in the offseason, I'm working hard for me, because
Yeah.
I want them to be great. But at the same time, I want to be great also.
Which
Yeah.
that makes sense. Oh, for sure. So
Mm-hmm.
when you're younger, did you always want to be a professional baseball player?
Funny story. I never had a B plan. Never had a B plan. My mom used to always get mad sometimes because she would tell me, like, man, like, you need to really figure out what you want to do, because with baseball don't work. Like, from a little kid, and I used to look like a dummy in class, because first day, everybody know first day of school, icebreaker. Hey, like, or like somebody comes, and the owner, or not owner, but like a visitor comes, and hey,
Yeah.
like, he's a great guy. He goes around the room and asks her, what do you want to be? Everybody want to be a doctor, a veterinarian. I'm fixing in there. I'm be a professional athlete. When everyone's looking like, okay, like, that's like a one in a lifetime chance. But to me, that was what I wanted to do.
And that's a goal.
That was the goal for me. So that was what I wanted, So I never really had a backup plan. I never had a B plan. I always believed that if I had faith and I worked hard in my A plan, I wouldn't need my B plan. My A plan would be good enough. Or if I focused too much on my B plan, then my A plan wouldn't work.
That is true too.
That's how I felt about it.
Well, your A plan's working out pretty damn good.
It's working good, but I mean, I'm also want more for myself, and that's why I'm very eager to try to work hard and get better each and every single day, because my A plan is nowhere near complete yet. But is it in the making? Correct. But it also can be turned really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I want to make sure I put the effort in and put the work in, because I want the A plan to work. Like I said, I don't foresee a B plan. Like, I'm locked in on. I'm locked in on A. Like I said, if I'm locked in on A, I won't need a B.
So yeah, we were talking earlier, and you're talking about that you want to start branding yourself.
Yes.
Why? Why do you want to start branding yourself?
Because athletes need brands too. I mean, you gotta think about it. Like, okay, I'll break it down to you just like this. Like,
Yep.
most athletes, organizations, corporations, whatever, they don't just get the athletes and want the athletes just for the athlete. I mean, think about it. As an athlete, you only going to play for so long. Michael Jordan playing out the game for so long, and his shoe is still the number one selling shoe of all time.
Yep.
Like, your brand sometimes is going to live longer than what you are living, or what you are playing. And I truly feel that social media is so popular now that at the end of the day, like, social media can really help you boost to the next level. Because sometimes it's not always truly about the numbers you put up. It is. Trust me, it is. You want to put up good numbers. You want to earn your respect from your organization and from other people. Yes. But sometimes it's really big on a lot of fans, like really liking it.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of players in the game of baseball, basketball, football that has stuck around, at the highest level of play because they've been a fan favorite. People wanted to see them play. People paid for their jerseys. They love their brand. They wanted their brand. LeBron, you see LeBron doing it now. LeBron, not only is he a great athlete, but his brand is huge. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, his shoes are growing by the day. His brand is growing by the day. And at the end of the day, when LeBron is done playing, his shoes are going to be the one that's going to continue to take off.
Yeah.
About building your brand. So I was telling you, like, you're doing your podcast, but like that's your brand. Like, you build your brand. You never know how far social media can take you. Like, social media is crazy because people, like, what people think about you. I think people, like, underestimate how much power fans and people have. Like,
Yeah.
for real, I'm serious. Like people have people stick together and they speak their piece. Like, they can very well have very powerful, like, input on what happens to you. Like, if the whole world wants to see you succeed, I'm sorry. Like, as an organization, like, they can have a problem with you, or they can, like, not even want you. Somebody will, because these people want you as the brand. They want Marlin Willis as the brand. So, like, not just as the player. It's supposed to be a package deal, and that's what I want. So I'm trying to build my brand as I go along with this journey because, like I said, athletes are brands too, and I really feel that fans are going to be what helps push you sometimes over the edge.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of people wanting to see you do well.
So like the NBA and NFL players, they do really well branding their players, but the MLB, I feel, is lacking on that one, and that's why you see a lot more, I guess, baseball players try and do their own thing. What?
All right. Don't know what happened there, but
we're good.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So where was I? What about the NBA, NFL? Okay. So the NBA and the NFL, they do really well with branding their players, but the MLB lacks on that one. And I feel that a lot more baseball players now are trying to create their own paths.
Yeah, because, I mean, you got to think about it. Like, people, like, I want to say MLB lacks on the production of being able to make sure their players are out there. People know they exist and they're important. But at the same time, like, athletes are starting to understand, like, like, in order to get the money that I want and to get the career that I want, sometimes it's deeper than just putting up the points.
Yeah.
Like, think about how many athletes, how many NBA players we have, or how many, like, think about. I'm sorry, I got my cousins coming in.
You're good.
But think about how many NBA players you have that put up 12 points, 15 points, and, like, they're still. Hold on a second. Hold on.
You're good.
Yeah, but think about how many guys you have in the NBA, like, who put up 15, 16 points, and like, they, like, still, like, you don't really necessarily hear much about them.
Yeah.
You don't, like, you just don't, like, because, like, they don't really have an established brand, and I feel like that's pretty darn important, bro. Like I don't know, like, I think people lack that understanding. It was like, yeah, you can put up stats all you want, but, like, nobody hear about the stats. Nobody's hyped about the stats. And, wow, think about LeBron. Do you remember when Zion first got in and people were hyped because he put up 15 points?
Yeah.
And, bro, he put up 15 points. He had a couple rebounds, and he had 2 dunks that weren't, like, crazy dunks, but they were, like, standard Zion dunks. Like, nothing really effort. Not yet. Nothing effort really been put into it, but at the same time, like,
He's a big dude.
Yeah, it's a big dude, and, like, his brand is high.
It's also like, let's see. Well, see, one of my favorite brands is the Griffey Swingman.
Yeah.
And that in baseball is, I mean, even in like any sport, it's like the swingman is big.
Yeah.
I think there's so it's like Mike Trout. So he makes the $400 million contract, but he doesn't really have like his brand, but he is Mike Trout, and he brings players or he brings fans to the stadiums and packs them up.
I mean, he's the face of Nike also too. So like, I mean, when you're facing Nike, like, I mean, like a Bryce Harper did the same thing. Like, I mean, he has the big
The
age.
Under Armour.
Yeah, but like at the same time, I mean, sometimes certain things comes with like just being the best player of the league. But I'm saying like if you're just a good player in the league, sometimes like to push you over the edge where people really know that you're prevalent in the league, like you have to like establish your brand because like sometimes like that's what people look for. Yeah, think about it, like AllStar votes are not even categorized by the NBA who goes in. It's fans.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy, man. Like I mean, there's a bunch of guys that probably could have went there and competed in the AllStar game or who was well deserving, probably up playing the AllStar game. But like, who do you think got it? The ones who the fans followed the most.
Yeah, it kind of does that with like the MLB All-Star game now too.
Yeah, same thing. But those are all guys that have their specific brand. And if it's not just a crazy specific brand, like there are at least some really, really prevalent on social media where fans feel really, really attached to them. Like, and then not just like, I mean, there's countless of big league players who had really good careers that like fans, like when they're done playing, fans know them, but not really like you would see Derek Jeter walking down the street or you would see like Bryce Harper walking down the street. Like, it's kind of like, oh yeah, I remember he played a long time ago. He probably has the money to say that he played, but because they wasn't really prevalent with the fans, it wasn't prevalent with their brand as a player.
Mm-hmm.
No one really remembers them.
Who is the one baseball player that you have met that you were just like, holy crap, that's so and so?
That's a great question. One baseball player that I've met. God, that's a really hard question because like it's like then freshman ball and now I've met a lot. Like, I met like Salvador Perez, like for a pitcher, like Salvador Perez, like a dream catcher.
Yeah,
he's unreal. I don't know, man. I'll probably say Edwin Jackson. The reason why I say Edwin Jackson,
yeah.
like he's been around the league for a long time, and like I don't think people forget like how many teams that man played for. Like,
yep, team to team to team.
But yeah, he played for almost every single club there is. Yep. Like, and like I love this tenacity. Like Dontrell Willis, I watched him growing up, and it's funny, he got the same last name with lefty, so it's kind of kind of neat. Yeah, I mean,
I actually used to have a poster on my wall of Dontrell Willis, like when I was younger.
Yeah, so I'll probably say Edwin Jackson if I had to give it to one of the players that I've met that was like man, like wow, that's him. Wow, Cody Bellinger. I've met Cody Bellinger too.
Ooh.
I don't know, man. So that's a hard question. But I'll probably give it to Edwin Jackson 100%.
Okay. And you were telling me a story earlier that you just showed up at someone's house and you had no idea whose house it was.
Yeah, I didn't know whose house it was at all. Like, I'm thinking we're gonna go and get some food and swimming, and I'm thinking it's like an Airbnb, going with some friends or whatever. And DeAndre Hopkins just walks in the house. I'm like, okay, all right, well. And I'm looking because, like, sometimes you get disbelief, like you don't know, like you don't believe that's the person. So I'm in a pool. I'm like, okay, it looks like DeAndre Hopkins. Tattoos like DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know if it's DeAndre Hopkins. Until like I saw him like bring out a little football, like he would just like tumble it. I was like, oh crap, that's DeAndre Hopkins. Talking to him, cool dude. Yeah. So I mean, I think that's the beauty of things. Like when you get to a certain level, like it's pretty cool to be able to meet certain players that I mean you would never be able to meet, like Hunter Pence. Like,
mm-hmm. Yeah, because you faced Hunter Pence on Watch Momentum at the live at bats.
Yeah, it took me deep too. So, I mean, I'm be honest with you. Obviously, you probably had to take me deep, but it's out there in the desert. One of the weirdest things was every ball that you hit looks like it's going a country mile because there's nothing but just land behind.
Yeah.
So you're like in your head, somebody can hit a pop up, but it probably caught like in the middle of the outfield. It looks like it's going 450. So I don't know how far the ball went, but he did barrel it up. But yeah, like guys like that. I mean, Trevor Bauer. I watched those guys on TV for a long time, and like get a chance to like go out there and like have fun with them. So like that's pretty cool. Yeah. So, but yeah, Edwin Jackson. That's my pick.
Awesome. So if you okay, let me think. Actually, I had this question written down earlier. Where is that? My bad. See, this is what I like about I can edit this because I can cut out this whole part.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just do this. So, do you have any advice for the listeners who are wanting to make a dream a reality?
First, I would definitely say like my belief in Jesus Christ has been like number one. Like I'm really big on faith. That's what I was raised to be. Like, and I've been through situations where I didn't have anything but faith to rely on, and it never failed me. And even when I thought it failed me, like I think people understand. Like you have to understand this. Like at the end of the day, one, like I said, you gotta have faith, but you gotta understand that like as long as you work hard and you have faith, it's always possible. And like for me, I struggled for a long time. My worst fear was failure. I hated to fail. Like, and I hate to fail so bad that it became my fear, where it stopped me from being able to go and do certain things and be able to go and play free and be able to go and try new things and try to work on my game, try to better my craft because I was scared to fail. So like for me, like I feel like people have to understand like what's like and then what's really failure, because like if you like after every failure, bro, it's not gonna always be like you're gonna fail and then it's just gonna be just a base failure. Like when you fail, something always good comes from it. Like every time I fell on a baseball field, like or had a bad year, I always end up learning one of my better skills or one of my better, abilities. Like the off season after that. So like, and when I look back on it, it was a reason why I fell. So like, if you're trying to chase something and you're trying to be something that sometimes you see so far, that some seems so far out, you understand it's always accomplishable. It is, and I know, and I know a lot of people say that because a lot of people like people try to go out there and sell a Dixie dream, like, oh yeah, like this. If you're trying to get here, like just keep working hard, it's gonna happen. And no, I'm telling you right now, like you're gonna have some times where life's gonna kick your butt. Like you're gonna have times where like you're not gonna know how in the world you're going to make it, how in the world you're going to succeed, or how are you going to get to that goal that you're trying to set out. But understand that like if like kicks your butt, like you really got two choices. Like you can let it kick your butt and just keep kicking your butt, or you can get back up and try to learn and figure out why it kicked your butt. What was the purpose? And that's what I'm learning now. Like whenever I fail, like I have failures on a daily basis. Like I may practice and my goal is to do something, but I may not be able to do it. When that happens, I ask myself, okay, look, why did I fail that day? What was the sole purpose of why I was failing? It could have been something simple like, hey, like you may need to focus on this so therefore you can overcome that hump. And that's what I did. And I'm still learning that too. And that's what I think. I think a lot of times people think people in professional sports are like completely an outlier to real life, but we're not. Like, and at the end of the day, I think athletes sometimes do a bad job of making themselves untouchable, how we talked about. Like where like, you get a lot of times where players saying, nah, I don't want to go and do an interview with you unless you're not freaking MiLB or ESPN. It's not that really big of a deal. Like at the end of the day, like, everybody's trying to make consistent growth. Because at any point, regardless of your progress, like it can always kind of like be snatched away from you. And then you got to start right back at ground zero.
Yeah, that's nailed that one, man.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of like my thought process on it. Like at the end of the day, like, yeah, you can have your goals, you can set them out, you can do everything like that, but like you can't expect it to just because you said yes you want to do it, you work hard. And I think that's where I got confused, because I felt like if I set my dream out and I said, okay, this is what I was going to do, and I worked hard, it was going to automatically happen. It wasn't like that. I worked hard, still like lost a lot, but still failed a whole tremendously a lot. But that's part of the process.
Yeah. Well, Marlon, I appreciate it, man.
No problem, man.
Dude, take it easy.
All right, man. Thanks, man.